What's going on, guys? We're doing a new NHL quiz today. This one has to do with guessing which team drafted certain NHL All-Stars. I've been seeing a bunch of ads and stuff for the NHL All-Star vote, so I figured this was kind of related. As you can see, title there, only 1 in 20 NHL fans know which teams drafted these All-Stars. I always love the titles for these quizzes. So I'm guessing that means only 5% of people get perfect on this quiz, so we'll see if we can be in that 5%, do better than the other 95. Obviously, Matthews and Marchand there in the cover. So first question, which team drafted Eric Staal? I think this is a pretty easy one. Carolina Hurricanes, unless it's a trade I don't know about. I'm sure there'll be some trick ones, or maybe they got traded after they got drafted and never played a game for that team or something like that. Number 2, Johnny Gaudreau, I believe was a Flames pick. He was a late pick too, like 4th round or something. Absolute steal. Which team drafted William Karlsson? So obviously this is the Blue Jackets, unless they traded for him before that. I don't think so though.
You suck!
Anaheim Ducks already. I got one wrong. Actually, you know what? Now that I see that, I do remember that. Yeah. He was drafted by the Ducks. I don't even know if he ever played a game for the Ducks. Let me look.
A few moments later.
So I got Hockey DB up now. As you can see there, drafted by Anaheim Ducks back in the 2nd round of the 2011 draft. And he actually did play one season for them. 2014-15. 3 points in 18 games. So already 3 questions and we got one wrong. Hopefully he can get perfect here on out. So Matt Murray, I'm pretty sure was a Penguins pick. Went through their system, the AHL. Okay, we got that one right. Dustin Byfuglien. So I was actually going to put Atlanta Thrashers for this. I was like, oh, it's a trick question, but they're not even there. And then I remembered that he was actually traded by Chicago to Atlanta, who of course then became the Jets. Okay, I wanted to make sure. I was like, was he drafted by Anaheim or Edmonton possibly? I don't think so. So Blake Wheeler here. He was drafted by, I was going to say the Bruins, but no, it was the Coyotes. And I think he refused to play for them or sign a contract. Got traded to the Bruins, then got traded to the Thrashers, who of course became the Jets. Kucherov was drafted by the Lightning, another sick pick. I think he was like a late 2nd rounder, something like that. Voracek, I believe, was drafted by the Blue Jackets. He was traded for Jeff Carter. That didn't really turn out too good for Columbus. Which team drafted Alex Radulov? So that was the Predators, yeah, because he came back after going to the KHL or whatever. Taylor Hall, you got to know this one. Edmonton Oilers, 1st overall pick. Trades 1-for-1. Phil Kessel, so this is the Boston Bruins. Of course, trade for Sagan essentially, and then trade again. Jake Gardner, so this was the Ducks, I believe, and he got traded with Joffrey Lupul for Francois Beauchemin. So an absolute fleece job by Brian Burke. People always hate on him, but he's made some good trades in his career, also some bad ones, but that was an absolute steal. I think Gardner was like a college free agent, and the Ducks knew he wasn't going to sign with them, so they traded his rights to the Leafs. Tyler Seguin, obviously we just mentioned, drafted by the Bruins, 2nd overall, 2010. David Perron. Okay, so I think it's St. Louis, because he's played for St. Louis like 7 different times or something crazy. Like, he'll get traded, sign back with them, or get traded back to them. Unless he got drafted by somebody. I don't think so. Okay, no, we got that one right. Rick Nash, obviously Columbus. I think he still holds like the record for like all their all-time leaders and points and stuff. Braden Shen, so this was LA Kings. Speaking of Brian Burke, I remember he really wanted him, link him up with Luke Shen, and I think he got drafted 1 pick before they took Kadri. Jeff Carter here, so we mentioned this one as well. Drafted by Philly. Kyle Turris, so I believe Arizona, and he played a few seasons there before getting traded to Ottawa. Alright, yeah, we're right. Arizona for Kyle Turris. Dubnyk, I know, played for Edmonton. I assume that they drafted him, that's how they had him when he was younger. Okay, we got that one right. I'm like second guessing myself now, all because of the Karlsson one I got wrong. Marchand, I think, spent the Bruins his whole career, unless he was traded as a prospect, which maybe. I don't think so, though. Alright, we got that right. Brent Burns, obviously, this is Minnesota Wild. Played there for quite a bit before getting traded. Philip Forsberg, arguably the worst trade of the Cap era, honestly. Martin Erat for Philip Forsberg. You traded a guy that wasn't very good for now an all-star. So he was drafted by the Capitals, I think 11th overall or something, 2012. He actually might go 1st overall now if you really redo that draft. Maybe Morgan Riley. Brian Burke actually said, oh, it's kind of crazy, I'm thinking about this. He picked Riley 5th, and he said he would have taken him 1st overall, and everyone thought he was joking, but looking back at that draft, it's Riley or Forsberg that goes 1st overall. Let me actually bring this up. So like I was saying, look at the 1st round here in the 2012 draft. Riley could go 1st overall, Forsberg could go 1st overall. I guess Vasilevsky now you can make an argument for, but you don't usually take a goalie 1st overall. I mean, unless there's a sick player later in the draft I don't know about. I don't think so though, so yeah, kind of crazy. Burke was right about Riley being his top pick at 5, and then Forsberg, who got traded for Martin Erat, honestly might go number 1 overall if they redid the draft. Kind of crazy. Teravainen, that was a Blackhawks pick. That was actually another really nice pick. I think he dropped in the draft to like 20 or something. That's how they were able to get him. Anders Lee. I want to say he's been an Islander his whole life, but I'm not sure about that. Played 3 seasons for Notre Dame. I actually didn't know that. Dang. I think we have 2 left here, so I'm trying to get at least, no more than 1 wrong. I think I'm questioning myself. I think it's just Islanders. Okay, it is Islanders. And then Silverberg, I believe, was a Senators draft pick. Traded to the Ducks. Yeah, Senators. Okay, there we go. So, 96% score. That's not too bad. Honestly, I think there's like a couple others I was expecting to be here. Like Jack Johnson's a really good one. Whenever I think of Jack Johnson, I always think he was picked by the LA Kings and then got traded to Columbus for Jeff Carter. But he was actually picked by Carolina, 3rd overall in 2005. I think it went Crosby, Ryan, Johnson, and then never even played a game for Carolina. Traded down as a prospect to LA. I remember, I forget how I found this out. I was probably doing some video or something, and I saw that. And so I'm surprised I didn't put him in there. I feel like that's one not a lot of people know, but still, we finished there with 96% score. We'll see how we do compared to everybody else. Average score is 70%, so yeah, we crushed it. Unfortunately, though, we're not in that top 5% of people that got perfect on this one. And like the Carlson one, I did know, but it was like buried back in the brain, and I totally forgot about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. I'd love to hear how you guys did on this quiz. I'm sure some of you guys got perfect. You didn't forget Carlson was drafted by the Ducks. But other than that, guys, leave a like if you want to see more quiz videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. Thank you as always for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.